Welcome to Your World Within Daily. I'm Eddie Pinero. In this episode, we're going to talk about almost and how some of the greatest decisions we'll ever make will be the product of simply saying yes when we could have said no. So much of life is recognizing and capitalizing on the opportunity at hand. The video, or I guess it's a speech from my YouTube channel, I'm going to play in a minute. It's called Almost. And I don't want to ruin it, but it's about a particular event from a few years back at a race that where I stepped back, changed the way I looked at the situation, changed my decision making, and ultimately had a realization that, wow, like some of our greatest accomplishments hide behind this fickle reality where we said yes and it expanded our world, but how easily could we have said no and missed it? It's really an amazing thing. And so this is the only part I'll spoil from this speech, but I like to use the idea of the best-selling book. Like, how many best-selling books were almost written, or movies were almost made, or relationships almost started? How many businesses almost got up and running, but instead of taking that right, instead of pivoting into the yes, we talked ourselves into the no? It really is an amazing question to ask yourself. Is it worth it? Right? Life is so short. If regret is the enemy, and man, I think it is. Anyone who listens to me, that's my deal. Regret minimization is one of the most important things I try and live by. Why wouldn't you take that risk? You're always one decision away from a totally different life. And that's what this video is about, or this speech. I don't know how many times I'm going to say video, but so I'm going to play that now. It's called Almost, and I hope you enjoy it. Also, quick reminder, if you guys enjoy this podcast, it really help me out. Subscribe, rate, leave a review. Does little background things with the algorithm that gets the podcast out to the world, and that is my goal, so I appreciate that. Without further ado, here is Almost. I had an interesting weekend. I was pretty sick and almost didn't run the half marathon that I had scheduled, but decided, hey, worst comes to worst, I have a bad race, the world will keep spinning, so I jumped in the car and headed that way. When all was said and done and I crossed the finish line, I ended up with a personal best of over 15 seconds a mile, in a race that I almost walked away from because I didn't think I would be at my best. And when I regained composure, settled in a little bit, I had to wonder how many times almost has gotten in my way. How many times a simple decision to stop, to not go or wait for later has changed the outcome of my life. How many times has it changed the world? How many potential bestsellers were almost started? How many potential greats almost stuck with it? How many friendships almost remained intact? Think about how fickle our world is. How these simple decisions to start, to go, to not drop the pen or hit the snooze button can change everything. And after that race, I told myself that I will never get in my own way again. I will never sell myself short. I will do everything in my power to be on the right side of almost. The worst outcome is so much better than wondering. And there are moments that we question if it's worth it, if it matters, if there really will be payout. And being pragmatic, maybe there will, maybe there won't. But the moments that we remember in life, the things that end up meaning the most to us, they don't come from almost jumping. They're born from the recognition that failure will not kill us. An opportunity hides behind mountains of almost. You can do what you've always done, or you can go further.
You can keep your stories and ideals locked away in your head, or you can share them with the world. You can worry about the collapse, or you can build. Change the architecture of humanity, contribute something extraordinary, not be a victim of almost, but go in with the intent of leaving a mark, of holding your ground. You know, there are no certainties in life, that's for sure, but I can promise if you never leave, my friend, you will never arrive. And with so many potential destinations out there, who wants that? Who wants to pay the cost of admission and not see the show? Be the person 30 years from now, talking, joking with your friends, family, and teammates about how you almost didn't go. You almost said no. You almost let your insecurity and doubt get the best of you. But then you took a step back and you remembered what matters.